All right, fellas, we did it. We proved to the world that we're not complete dumbasses. This past weekend, we participated in the old trivia night for the kids, FTK.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a good year. I think.
Yeah, we did.
And I just wanted to kind of recap a little bit. We kind of got out there a little bit. There was an interview. We went 10 for 10 on the chip round.
Yep.
Which probably is unsurprising to some.
2 mulligans, though.
Well, we don't have to tell people that.
2 mulligans, but I think the reason that we got the interview was because we were the only ones that didn't use a mulligan on the one type of chip.
Oh, the Taki,
Yeah,
Ranchero.
the red Taki.
Well,
Fuegos.
And your wife looked at you like you were an idiot.
Yeah, but it was right.
But you were right.
Yeah.
And you stuck to your guns.
Yeah.
And I got a little auctioneering experience in
You
up
did
there.
great, brother.
Well, a lot of compliments on it. Didn't realize after the first round about the second round. So I got to learn how to, because my getting a little raspy there.
Yeah.
And the voice, when I woke up the next morning, it was probably a combination of plenty of Mickey Ultras and the auctioneering, but the throat was a little bit tender. You know, my hymen hurt a little bit.
Definitely.
You know, which
it did.
that picture of you, buddy. Are you going to give them exclusive permission?
I don't know. So we've been approached by some of the
Organizers.
the curators of this event to potentially use some photos in the 2026 logo. So we're in negotiations with that, but stay tuned for that one. That's probably going to be a wild deal. I can only wait for that.
Well, I mean, I think it'll be in your negotiations. You should reserve a table for us for sure. Because I think when people find out the theme, well, they'll know the theme. I mean, they posted it. But
Already they did?
Yeah, because maybe not. No, maybe not. We don't want to let that cat out of the bag.
I don't see it yet.
We
I just know that they've selected it and picked a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. We can tell you that. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a dandy.
And it's going to be something we all know and love.
We tied for 5th place with a cumulative point of 78 points is what we did.
And the winners were at
83. So we weren't too far out of the.
But I think that's a 3rd place tie, though, right? Points wise.
Yeah, 79, and so first team 83. Second place was a 2-way tie for 79, and then the 3rd place was. We tied with Primerica for 77 points.
So it's not. And by the way, the winners.
Yeah, they bought that. I'm not afraid to say it.
I mean,
we won't name them, but they bought it.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. I mean,
It's wild. But when they won, they paid hefty for those points.
Well, FTK.
And it was for the
FTK.
kids. And then when they won, they took their prize money and donated it back as well.
Oh, nice.
So I'll have to admit it was for the kids
Classic.
that night. Very classic.
Yeah, it is. That's good.
I got drunk as shit,
We
and I
know.
had a good time.
We know.
It was great.
Way better than the time before.
Yeah, because I was a fat, wet blanket that night, and so were you.
Mm-hmm.
We both sucked balls that night, figuratively, not literally. But
night and day difference.
it was, and I'm
night and day
glad
difference.
that we all had fun, and I helped the table behind us do some. I called on their bidding a little bit. When they bought the cheeseburgers, they were nice enough to donate some food, to the table, and it was just everybody spent money, and it was a good time for the kids. And I know our bar bill was pretty healthy, but it was a great time.
There's just something. We talked about situational beers.
Yeah, that's one.
And when you're at like a table or a room full of folks, and everybody's having fun, and everybody's getting after it. You let your hair down a little bit, and then next thing you know, you're like 6 buckets in, and you're like, oh, good thing we got a designated driver.
That is exactly right, because we all did. I mean,
we were
all
responsible.
had this.
We don't condone
Now,
drinking
I don't
and
know
driving.
who Team Ron Rashi is,
They struggled.
but boy, oh boy, 36, huh? Like they got a 1 on one sheet, and they also got a 0 on one sheet. But then they came in second round with a 7. Now, how does that work? But
Does that score list have the sheets on there? I wonder how we did on the first sheet and like I felt like I was.
No, you
cut-
nerded out hard on the first one. We got 9, remember? Because we
didn't know his girlfriend's name.
we said Lorraine instead of
That was his mother.
whatever his girlfriand's name was. Yeah. We got that one
and
mixed
the
up.
theme, for those of you that aren't in our little neck of the woods,
Privy.
trivia night is basically they rent out Huntingburg Event Center, put out a bunch of tables, teams of 8. They go through different rounds of trivia. This year's theme was Back to the Future, and it was a good one. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
There was a real DeLorean there.
Yeah.
A lot of people dressed up.
Their whole team got a free round of drinks for that
I
dude
know.
driving that thing.
Well, we got a whole full round of drinks when we did it. Sold. So it all worked out.
right.
We didn't have to
Hey.
bring the DeLorean.
We got to jump though. We can figure out a pretty sweet ride to bring. I imagine for next year's
Oh, yeah.
rowboat.
Or some sort of giant ship.
That'd be good. That'd be great. But in the venue, like when they did the venue pictures, like we did solid on that because
oh, my God.
the
Yeah.
Hill Valley Courthouse, I was like, that's got to be it. There's nothing local that makes sense. Plus, going back to the theme, but they had some interesting rounds, interesting questions there.
And I loved it because it was the Dutchman plus a couple
and our wives.
and our wives. And I'm not going to name any names, but I thought, man, these deadbeats ain't going to contribute. You know what I mean? Like, we're way smarter than these people.
Talking about you, Dave.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the 2 people that we invited on our team.
Well, they don't listen to the show.
I know,
so it's
but if
okay.
they do, this will be great. But you know what? Old boy showed up because I had never had a clue that like the Calumet, the one picture.
With the Calumet, yeah.
Well, yeah, but the hell, he's old enough. That was a spot to hang out,
No.
back in the day. Because even I was telling Charles about it, he's like, the Calumet? Hell, that thing was dying when I was 21,
They used to have wild parties out
Oh,
there.
yeah. They said that was always having some ragers back in the day. But luckily, the other ones were in Huntingburg. And, I drive by them all 250 times a day. So we locked them in. And then what other was the real humdinger? The music one with Shabuzi and all that. Luckily, our wives knew what that meant, but I don't never really heard of that.
You've
But-
never heard of Shabuzi?
I mean, once they said the song, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it was the sound clips or whatever. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we nailed.
They
that
always
one, too.
do, like the food tasting one.
Yeah, that's usually tough.
Is
This
it-
one was tough. I'll have to say that because there ain't no freaking way in hell that anybody in that room could tell me that was a Philly steak and cheese Pringle. And that was the nastiest sumbitch chip I'd ever had in my life. Like the smell of it opening the bag was atrocious.
Yeah,
it was
wasn't
gross.
good. I don't know how anybody can eat them.
No.
You know what they ought to do? And we may have some fans that are, well, we know one of them for sure, because she had to come out here and get her husband that's involved in the organization, that they ought to talk to our friends at Merkley and Sons and get 8 or 9, because they got 5 or 6 broad options now.
Mm-hmm.
But you add 2 or 3 more on there. Oh, good Lord.
Well, I don't know how they'd keep them hot, but we could figure it out.
Well, them little,
Warming trays.
yeah, like
Put a little water in the warming trays and,
Exactly.
candles.
yeah. I don't think it's a bad idea.
No, it's not.
I mean, we'd be solid in that. The old Glizzy Roller has done
Phenomenal.
that's a lot of
job.
training over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no show.
it is. But
Trivia was a blast.